You can tell me first what you would like to learn.
Okay, so what I'm trying to learn is I'm a Vice President of Education of London Trustmasters. I don't know how to use Basecamp. I understand I have a password, which I think I may have used once, but I think I can get into it via toastmasters.org. But I have members of my club who aren't able to, where I need to approve or give feedback on their speeches or what have you, and I'm not able to access that. So I could just do with a bit of help in terms of understanding how to do the admin on Pathways.
Good. So you never used that. You have a path, or you didn't yet take a path?
I've not taken a path on Pathways. I'm still working on the traditional program, but as a VPE, I should be using Pathways for my members who are on the Pathways program.
Yes, I understand. But you should also try at least the first level yourself.
Okay.
So you understand when they're telling you they have a problem.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, my understanding was, and maybe I'm completely wrong, that once I started Pathways, I couldn't be on both programs at the same time. So I couldn't be on the traditional program on one side and then also on Pathways. And as I'm working towards my DTM, what I wanted to make sure was I was able to continue on the traditional path and not risk missing out on my
You
DTM.
are able to continue on both paths.
Yeah.
For 1.5 more years.
Okay. So this is the current path. It finishes on June the 30th, 2020, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
But it doesn't matter if you do two.
Okay.
At worst, after your name, Toastmaster will put something else.
Okay.
But you can continue and have the awards. What level you are now in a traditional program?
So right now, I'm fairly close to getting my perfect now. So I've already got my advanced leadership bronze and advanced communication bronze. I'm working towards my advanced communication silver and my advanced leadership silver.
Yes.
So that's where I'm.
Okay, so you can continue in the same time if you begin.
Yes, good. That's good news.
That is the first good news, perhaps.
Yes, that is definitely good news.
And perhaps for the first level, first pass, you could take presentation mastery.
Okay. What's presentation mastery? I should look at the paths. I've not looked at it. I have a Pathways. I don't know. I've not been ignoring Pathways, but I've been so focused on.
But you were ignoring it.
Yeah, come on, I wasn't. yeah, I was.
If you don't tell me the truth, I cannot help you.
Okay, I was. You know what? I wasn't ignoring it. I was focusing more on the traditional path.
Okay.
And I wasn't focusing so much on Pathways because it wasn't something that I was going, well, you know, I think like a lot of members, I'd be saying, well, I'm halfway through my traditional path. I'm focusing on that. Why do I need to know anything about Pathways? And I've seen presentations on Pathways and it looks really exciting, but because I'm already on the traditional path, it's not something, you know, I always looked and said, well, I'm not going to do so much with Pathways now, so why do I need to know? The only reason I guess I need to know is that as a VPE of people where I have to help people who are doing Pathways, I kind of need to know enough in order to help them.
I think if you do even 2 projects,
yeah, I'll get the hang of it.
Then you will understand enough.
Yeah.
At the beginning, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you finish level 1, you will understand enough, so
Yeah.
you can help them
Mm-hmm.
when they have problems.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. As always.
And yeah, there is 5 projects.
Yeah.
5 times the first level. Now, let's go to the path.
Okay. So what do I need to do now?
First of all, you have to read my blog.
Oh, man. Okay.
My blog, I send you an address, but I can send you again.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it has titles like how I choose a path,
Okay.
for example.
Yeah.
How I approve a level.
Mm-hmm.
What a Basecamp manager has to do.
Yeah.
And so on.
Okay.
Yeah. First, so there are 10 paths.
Mm-hmm.
Between the 10 paths, 3 finish with high performance leadership.
Okay.
They are heavier than any others, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, in Lewisham, I am the only one in 10 years who did a high performance leadership.
Okay.
It is not so difficult, but why would you begin with difficult things?
Exactly.
3 finish with 6 months being on a committee.
Yeah.
Or leading.
Mm-hmm.
Then that you can do if you want, because you are VP anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 of the rest of 10, 2 finished relatively easy, and I will tell you.
Yeah.
And 2 finished with making a happening event.
Yeah. Okay.
Which you could also do.
Yeah.
So
it sounds to me then in Pathways, they've kind of taken the communication and leadership and kind of brought them they've merged them into a path. So they're
not separate.
They're not separate paths. They are the activities form part of a path. So you have both communication and leadership in the same.
For example, indeed. For example, the presentation mastery.
Yeah.
Finish with a 20-minute keynote-like speech.
Right.
The visually communication finish you finding your vision, what you would like to do, and doing a small part of it.
Yeah.
But that is you decide when you want to finish.
Okay.
The leadership development finish with a big event.
Yeah.
After having done a small event in the club.
Okay.
And I don't know which is the 4th.
Okay.
I think it is the team development, making a team and making an event that builds a team.
Right.
So, in my opinion, you choose one of the 4 as the first.
Okay.
So when you will have the time to continue, to be able to finish rather faster than slower.
Right.
So that when you go to Toastmaster.org, and I think you have been already, and you have an email, as you told me.
Yeah.
You can log in. And after login, you can go to choose a path.
Okay.
How many clubs you are paid member?
I think I'm only a paid member of one club at the moment.
Okay. So then you will have a free pass anyway.
Okay.
You don't have to pay for it.
Okay, good.
You want to go to choose your path. They ask you a lot of questions. You decide language, English, and then choose a tell answer questions,
Yeah.
and then you will told to choose between 3 best hits, depending on your answers.
Right. Okay.
But if you don't want any of those 3, you go just under it,
Yeah.
and then you have the 7 other paths,
Yeah.
and you can choose whatever you want.
Okay. So the questions will help to guide you to the 3 best paths that based upon your questions, but you don't have to choose those. You can just go past those and then pick one of the other paths.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Here's a question I have. So in order for me to approve a speech on Basecamp, and I think I have a speech for you to approve, actually. Yes, indeed. In order to do that, do I have to be on Pathways itself?
You never have to approve a speech. Why should you approve
Feedback, I think.
Huh?
Feedback, isn't I have to give feedback on speeches in...
You can give an evaluation.
Evaluation, yes.
Anyone can give an evaluation to anyone.
Okay.
For 20 months I have been in Pathways, and I have given many speeches at Lewisham.
Yeah.
Of people who knew nothing about Pathway. You have an evaluation form.
Yeah.
Then people print for you and give you.
Yeah.
And you evaluate mostly the speech and not the project.
Right, right. Okay.
So you don't have to know, like in traditional, you don't have to be advanced silver.
Yeah.
In order to approve someone who speaks from that manual.
Okay.
You can be a beginner.
Right. So really then, the evaluations in Pathways, are they more feedbacks on the speech itself rather than on the, rather than a more traditional evaluation that would be given in a meeting?
It can be either way. It depends on the evaluator.
Yeah.
But the evaluator gives the paper to the speaker. And normally the VP doesn't have even to look at it.
Yeah.
If you really suspect at some time, then someone wants you to approve a level and never did any speech.
Yeah.
Then you begin to ask him what's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
But otherwise,
yeah,
like usually the VP just takes what Toastmaster tells.
Yeah.
Because it is our responsibility.
Yeah.
Not the VP responsibility.
Okay. Okay. Right. Cool.
So when you are on Pathway, when you have already your path, you can access the Basecamp as a member of London
Trustmasters,
or as a Basecamp manager.
Okay.
Like VP, you are a Basecamp manager.
Yeah.
But you go inside either one, either the other.
Right. So you either go into Basecamp or Basecamp manager.
Like Basecamp manager or like club member.
Okay, fine. Okay.
And after you got out of it and go back as member again.
Okay. So here's a question then. So in order, if I go in, so first thing, the first thing I need to do is actually register for Pathways myself, or can I use Basecamp Manager without being registered on Pathways?
I don't think so.
Ah.
I don't know, because I become long time before I was Basecamp manager.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think best anyway too.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, okay. I'll do that then. I will.
Even if you don't want to give an icebreaker, because the first is an icebreaker,
Yeah.
you best at least go in and fight a little bit with a little bit awkward user interface.
Yeah. Okay. It can't be as bad as Easy Speak. Easy Speak isn't. When I started using Easy Speak, it wasn't easy. So I guess this is something I just
It's not
eventually.
difficult. It's just you have to know some certain things.
Okay.
And if you really read a little bit of my blog,
Yeah.
at least the post which most people read,
Yeah.
I will show you
Yeah.
soon. Then you will not be lost, let's say.
Okay. Perfect.
If there are some people who begin already Pathway in your club.
Yeah. I think we've got a couple of people who are on Pathways, and I think the big problem that we're having is myself and there's Matthew, who's the president of Trustmasters, and neither of us are really engaged in Pathways in any kind of way, which means those people who are in the club or on Pathways or are really trying to work through their speeches, they're getting frustrated because they've got, as Basecamp managers, we're not approving them. We're not helping them move on to the next level because they have their speeches.
That is important.
Yes, exactly.
Is the secretariat list?
No, we only in that club we only have unfortunately we only really have 2 people that have access to Basecamp because it's a very small club. I mean, we're still trying to.
No. Wait a minute.
Yes.
The first thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is to name secretary some of those who are already on Pathway.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Any of them. If you name him secretary,
yeah,
then he can approve instead of you, and instead of president, the level.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. That's a recommendation I'll put forward.
So that is one possibility.
Yeah.
He can tell you or not, but that is one. Secondly, you have an address for your club.
Yeah.
And if someone finishes a level well, then email goes to that address. The club address on Toastmaster International.
Right.
If not, the easiest thing is to ask people, you finish a level, come to us, go to secretary, tell me that you finished.
Yeah.
It is easier than try Toastmaster International to tell you.
Okay. Perfect.
In a small club at least.
It's a lot easier in a small club. Yeah, I mean, we're just about lucky to get, we meet on a regular basis every 2 weeks, but I think we struggle to get more than 10 people in our meetings right now. So it's
can happen. And also, if any one of you, probably the Northern Trust have a printer.
Yeah.
They could print evaluation sheet.
Yeah.
And they could print perhaps the first level in PF projects.
Yeah.
And show each other in a meeting.
Okay.
So they can work, of course, it's better to work online, but those who have some problems online, they can see it in paper.
Okay. No, that's a really good idea. I think the first thing I need to do is read your blog. Read your blog and then actually log on to Pathways myself and choose a path. And I think that is the path, so to speak. Because I think it's just really just getting into Pathways and actually doing it for myself, which is
not
fun.
being afraid of it.
It's, you know what it is? It's not afraid of, it's not being necessarily afraid of it. It's just saying there was no need for me to do it. Well, at least that's what I thought. So therefore I thought Pathways, I'm not interested because I'm very much focused on the traditional, you know.
And unhappily, too many people in our district think like this because the higher hierarchy doesn't understand that we cannot postpone.
Yeah.
New people is coming.
Yeah.
New members are coming. They have to go. Remember, new members who come cannot have, like you, both.
Yeah.
They only can have Pathway.
Yeah.
And if you give them a CC manual, and if they speak from CC manual, it is not recognized at all.
Yeah.
They waste their time with that manual.
Yeah, and I think it's you know, like you just pointed out, those of us who have kind of been very much fixed on the traditional path for a period of time, we're very much thinking about our own experience and our own journey. And perhaps what we need to think about is, well, what is the experience that our new members are going to have? And in order for us to ensure that we can be effective guides on that experience, we also need to understand, we also need to maybe be a step ahead of those guys on that experience so we can actually relate to what it is, the way we need to do it. In the same way that right now, today, we understand, you know, projects 1 to 10 on a CC, and we can see the progression on the CC. We also need to be able to see what the progression needs to be on a path. And I guess for those of us in positions where we're leading other people in clubs, we do need to be able to take that journey. I think there's an element of, you know, in ourselves that we say, well, actually, we don't really want to do that journey because we've kind of done that journey. Pathways almost seems like we're starting again from the beginning. But actually what we maybe need to think about it is that we're taking a different journey. It's, you know, we've done the advanced manuals, but we're kind of almost going back to basics, but learning something different. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to go back to basics to learn something new, almost to remind yourself, you know, I mean, like if you think of things like an icebreaker speech, your first icebreaker speech that you did, or that we all do, was probably very shaky. But actually...
You know what I say about icebreaker, Jason?
Yeah.
Do you have only 4 minutes in your life to tell?
Yeah, it's true. And it's another story. And your first icebreaker is you're breaking the, you know, the icebreaker I did 10 years ago. I wouldn't do the same icebreaker now because in 10 years, my life has completely changed. I've become a...
So you have a lot of things to tell. And
absolutely.
The new icebreaker takes you a little bit more in hand.
Yeah.
It has an outline you to follow.
Mm-hmm.
It is almost like the first 3 speech.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And then there is a speech which is extremely important, a project, not a speech.
Yeah.
Which is give a speech, any style for 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And have it evaluated.
Yeah.
And then another meeting, put some of the evaluation you have given, some specifics.
Yeah.
Into your speech and give it again.
Yeah.
That is what everyone who gives a contest speech or everyone who gives a keynote speech, every serious speaker does. Absolutely. And I think there's so many times we've written, you know, in Toastmasters, we write so many great speeches, but we only do them once. And they kind of, they sit on the shelf or in a folder on your computer, and you realize that was a really great speech and I told some really
important personal stories.
So
And
that
really what we
gives
need
you a possibility to
redo
make
old speeches.
better.
Yeah.
And then a third task of the same project
Yeah.
is to evaluate someone knowing now, understanding now how important specific in a feedback is.
Yes. Yeah.
At another time, of course.
Cool. So I think you've given me enough really to kind of get started. And I think the big underlined read blog here. So if you wouldn't mind, if you could just ping me your the blog link in our in the chat we're having, and I'm going to take a look at that now. And I'm actually going to go on to Pathways now and start looking and choosing a path, because I think I just need to just dive into it. Have you got a curtain behind you? Oh, brilliant.
Zoom lets you choose a digital background.
Okay. Does it?
Behind me is a green screen.
Yeah.
And I will show you. My without screen, it is like this.
Ah, so this is the real screen that you have in your house.
And I can put that.
What?
Or that.
That's a bit weird. Yeah.
I can put any kind of background.
Ah. You're a genius. Do you know that, Julie?
So it is funny. And
that's
how I first begin to be okay with Zoom.
Yeah.
Because I like to play with pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put in my living room a big green curtain. Tissue I bought from Amazon.
Yeah.
15 pounds.
Wow.
And then you can project anything you want, any picture you put.
This is brilliant. So are you getting really into webinars these days? I mean, are you, in terms of producing?
First of all, yeah, okay. So you see in my blog.
Yeah.
I finished 5 paths.
Yeah.
Completely. And I have now 3 more.
Yeah.
And I am finished my pathway DTM in 20 months only.
Yeah.
For the pathway DTM, I had to do a lot of leadership roles.
Yeah.
Like be a sponsor, be a club coach, and so on.
Yeah.
But I am not doing a lot of webinars for the moment. I am doing when I am asked.
Yes.
One for Saudi Arabia and one from England.
Okay.
And I give some panels, but the panel discussion, which I like very much, is one of the projects.
Okay.
As blogging is one of the projects.
Okay.
Now, I will very fast share with you.
Yeah.
To show you my blog.
Okay, I've got it here. Pathways Experience. I've got it here on my link here.
Okay, then you can share with me.
Okay, let me see.
You opened it, then you put share and click on the blog directly instead of all your.
Hang on a second. Where are you? So I've got you back on screen. So what I can do, I click on it. Now that opens me into another page. Okay. And then what do you do?
You click on share, which is a green thing in the middle, down.
Oh, here, share.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It is a nice program, Zoom.
Have you got it now?
Yes.
Oh, so now I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Woo! You know, the funny thing is, I'm actually quite technical. I used to think I was technical, man. You were just showing me up big time.
So now you go a little bit down on the screen.
Yeah.
Most visited blog post, you see?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
some is about evaluation, which you asked
Yeah.
me. Some how to choose, before you choose a path,
Yeah.
how to choose a path, how to fill evaluation form, and so on.
Yeah. Judy, I've always been impressed by you, but man, got to give a lot of respect to this.
And of course, there are all those blog posts with their title, but
Yeah.
also if you are interested in something,
Yeah.
you go up and you have a search box.
Okay.
And in search box, you put a text, word.
And put Basecamp in, see what happens. Nothing.
Search. Click on search, yeah.
Ah.
But you could put directly Basecamp Manager.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So there are probably more than one which speaks about, that is a login, logout, which I think it is important.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you go down, you see other posts probably.
Yeah.
Which is more specific.
Well, these are much more on. Okay, well, there's lots of stuff here.
You see how it looks like here with the Basecamp Manager and the other, which
Sorry.
No, down.
Oh.
Here with the blue, yeah.
Okay, aha, right, okay. Aha. Pending requests.
And go down now. So you have screens which explains you how and what. Club Central.
Yeah.
And here is one path.
Yeah, what is this one? This is
explaining you that there are some projects which you have to do, which are called requested.
Yeah.
And other projects which you have to choose, which are called elective.
Okay. So this is dynamic leadership. This looks
you can go and play with different.
Yeah. No, this looks really interesting, actually. No, I'm really, no, this is good. Okay.
So I think most of the questions you will be asked.
You'll be here somewhere.
In my blog.
Yeah.
But after you have chosen a path, I hope.
Yeah.
And played with that, we can have another meeting. And you will ask me some other questions.
I'll ask you better questions. Once for a chance. Well, Julie.